This is a tunnel.
I'm a spiritual person.
It's a very spiritual section of the house.
Please have a look at the spirits.
So what this wall is, and you're going to say, why is there a wall with holes in it? At that time, we had a set of dacoits. Well, why is there another door partitioning the main door and then yet another one? That is because from outside, if you try to look inside, you just see God.
Hi, Adriel. Nice to meet you. Thank you for giving me the time.
Always. As you can see some of Mario Miranda's sketches over here of him.
Yes.
If you look on top over there, that is the billet. A lot of people are trying to get this now.
Oh, what is that though?
That is the official passport that you needed to travel from Goa to Bombay. You've heard of feni.
Yeah.
So feni is not made only by cashew. You can also get feni from coconut. So this is the dining space. Okay, and like I mentioned, it's a big family.
Approximately 20 over here. So yeah, this must be...
A Pandit that used to live with us for a long time stayed here, and he started this collection of Ganesh, which has now reached over 4,000, which he passed on to my father. A lot of people who probably watch this video who are Goan get all antsy and excited about it.
How cool is that? This one is going to be very interesting because he's going to tell us why they lived the way they did. The doors, the ceilings, the chapel, the kitchen, the placements, everything had utility. So beautifully woven into history. The house I'm sitting here today is almost 300 years old, and I speak to the 6th generation. So nice to see the young ones take it up, Mr. Adriel Alvarez. The name of the house, let me say it properly, Araujo Alvares. I'm deep in South Goa, a place called Loutolim. We come to Goa and we go out partying, singing, drinking, raving. It's all great, but Goa is actually historic. Loutolim, it's almost filled with 12th century homes and accommodations of people, of which today, in a very, very rainy day, I'm lucky to shoot hopefully 2 to 3 of them. The house I'm sitting here today is almost 300 years old, and I speak to the 6th generation. So nice to see the young ones take it up, Mr. Adriel Alvarez. The name of the house, let me say it properly, Araujo Alvares. It's raining so heavily, but we are about to enter the Araujo Alvarez homes, 300 years old, only on Shweta's Talkies. Follow me, we're going to knock and meet Mr. Adriel. Old school. Hi Adriel, nice to meet you. Thank you for giving me the time.
Always.
Wow, this is your family home.
It is.
He's going to walk us through the entry and through the house. Stay with us. He's taking us inside and telling us all about it. Follow us.
Before we enter, Shweta, do you know why the hat stand is placed on the left side?
No.
Which hand did you greet me with?
Right.
So I'd help myself keeping my hat on the left and my cane on the left and greet people while I walk in on the right.
Oh.
Yes.
And hello.
Hello.
Oh, like that. I like this.
Let's start with, first you come in from the back, the main door. And then you'll say, okay, Adriel, why is there another door partitioning the main door and then yet another one? Right? These big doors, like you entered from, they become a little difficult to poke a peephole through. So what you would do is shut this one, causing yourself to have a small little peephole. Yep, just like that.
Oh.
Also, if you didn't want to shut this, right, and you wanted to keep the open passage visible, what you would do is, the fear of having a peeping Tom look into the house, how to get rid of that, you put the chapel right in front.
Oh.
And that's why most of these houses, and as soon as you enter, you see a chapel or a altar of sorts, depending on what religion the family followed. That is because from outside, if you try to look inside, you just see God.
This one is going to be very interesting because he's going to tell us why they lived the way they did. The doors, the ceilings, the chapel, the kitchen, the placements, everything had utility. So beautifully woven into history. Over back to you.
Yes. Now, most of these houses came with a chapel because I make fun of it and say it, but normally some of these houses are huge, came with huge families. They were not meant for small families. They were meant for massive families. And sometimes what happens is some of the boys chose not to get married and became priests. So having the priest in the house means you had an option to have a mass also in the house. That's why these altars would be placed, and then slowly over time they became a little more prominent in the family as they hosted their rosaries. Like ours hosts multiple things, but the most important is having Saint Anne over there, who is our patron saint of the family. So
on the
inside,
right.
Yeah, inside that small little house.
Can we get a little look into it? So what are we, your patron is on the right side?
Yes, that's Saint Anne, who is the patron of the family.
Beautiful. And this altar is exactly the way it was?
The altar is just maintained on a yearly basis once, and then every year we have our litany, a family litany that takes place. We also have a family rosary that takes place, so we all come in, all the branches of the family come in and they say the rosary. That's a long, boring process, but you can't change this.
You can't beat that. And what are we looking at? This gorgeous.
So this section also, where we'll come ahead and I'll explain how the family was a converted family. So we'll have a lot of things and structures that are Hindu based, and this is because of the conversion. So there are certain sectors of the house that are completely changed, some sectors that are not completely changed, and this is one of them. This is the passage in from the altar into the dining room. But instead of going this side, what we'll do is we'll go all the way around.
Nice.
Here you can see some of the vestments kept by the priests that were there in the house.
Oh, is this what they wore?
Yes, this is their vestments for during Mass, where they would change into this, the cassocks, some of the tabernacle and all that which is used.
What's the tabernacle? I don't know.
It's like an incense smoker. So what they do is they put incense in it.
Oh, the one they hang, and they used to hang.
And it's moved around to create a smoke incense all over the place.
And these are what the original priests wore?
This is what the original priests from the house wore.
From the house
So these are all originally from the house. And they would either go to the church, that's the Loutolim church, which the house is right behind, or they would host a small mass for the family in the chapel.
And this room?
So this room is my grandfather's study or office. So he was well known in the village and in Goa for being one of the first few Bombay High Court lawyers. Also, he was well known in the village. As you can see some of Mario Miranda's sketches over here of him.
Yes.
So this is actually just near the church. This is a sundial that was made in the vicinity of the church. It was broken by vandals, and then my dad restored also the same sundial.
Wow. And that's the patriarch of the family?
Yeah, that's the patriarch of the family.
Can you introduce us by names?
That is Salvador Eufemiano Fernando Francisco Araujo Alvares, and that's Maria Georgina. The thing is, if I go to explain and like her whole name, she has 8 names and 14 surnames.
Shit, I have 2. First name and last name.
So I just know her as Margarida or as Avo.
How lovely.
Yes.
Avo.
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 Avo. And that is a term that has come from the Portuguese influence. So the word Avo is grandmother in Portuguese. So it kind of picked up here also. But in the village, she was known as Mogubai.
Mogubai.
Mogubai, which is basically translated as loving sister. Because she was very giving, she was very outward towards the people in the village.
How nice.
Yes.
So I see you've restored some of your...
Yes. So most of what we've kept here are things that were used by my grandfather. He was one very popular with the people. So he had a lot of people come in. If you look on top over there, that is the billet. A lot of people are trying to get this now, but all they can do is get the Portuguese passport.
Oh, what is that though?
That is the official passport that you needed to travel from Goa to Bombay. Because at that time, Goa
From
was...
Goa to Bombay.
Yes, because Goa was Portuguese rule, Bombay was British rule.
British rule.
So you needed to have official documentation that allowed you to travel from one state to another state. Also, hosting the British India flag territory in the passport.
I can see Portuguese, India, British.
Yes. So we had
Look
to
at
have
that
all
1
of them.
rupee. Can you please zoom? Is that a 1 rupee?
Yes.
That 1 rupee bill, that's an actual dollar bill. I mean,
It's a stamp
rupee
paper.
bill. Stamp paper.
Yes.
Amazing.
Those are the pen holders and cigarette holders
I can
that
see
we
his
had.
glasses.
Yes.
Those are for opening envelopes.
That, yes,
I know
paper
that.
cutters, yes.
Yeah, paper cutters.
Paper cutters.
He's got a clock. He's got a, what is that? Ting ting.
That is no, that is your ink blotter.
Ink pot.
Yes.
That's an ink blotter. Nice. So this is the pipes for Adriel's grandfather. How lovely. I think he was quite the cigar man. I don't know what he smoked, but we like it.
He had a nice blend actually of, this is, I've not met the man, but I was told by my uncles and cousins who have met him, he had a nice blend of, he used to put his tobacco in a little bit of rum and then let it
Nice.
soak out in the sun. So you had a nice smell that came from the tobacco itself.
So he was trying to also explain to me how the houses were made for the adults and the children.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Please do tell me.
So come into the room here. Now we come to the first bedroom of the house, and that is primarily the adults' bedroom, so the older folk, right? And what would happen is they would be given the most luxury of luxurious, because again they are the top tier of the family. So on the bed you can see silk that was brought in from Macau through the trade route that the Portuguese came in. So now this is again preserved
Obviously
and kept
covered in
in.
because
Yes.
of the humidity.
So allowed the elders of the house to kind of enjoy a luxurious lifestyle. And then again, because I mentioned that it's the elders, they're not going to be that mobile in terms of moving around. And what used to happen is these houses would come with the toilets all the way to the end of the house, right?
I see.
So they couldn't walk all the way. So they had these very cool porcelain. I wouldn't go there. They had these very cool porta potties, right? But again, like I mentioned, the luxury. So they had Macau porcelain that they could poop in.
I think it's
So
very
you don't
cool.
have to. You just didn't.
You don't have to
didn't-
travel so much.
You didn't only sleep in it. You enjoyed hearing the clink of proper porcelain.
Yes.
Also, if you notice here in this room, there is the moon and the star on the
Oh,
curtain
yes.
frame. Now, Shweta, do you think you can guess why moon and star?
Is it the rising
You're
of
close.
the moon?
You're close.
Or the North Star.
The ideology is very close. But again, like I mentioned, it's the bedroom. The bedroom would only be used in the night to sleep.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah. So they showed what the room was because at
You
that time
could tell that this room is the bedroom. Mostly,
because of
yeah.
the moon and the star.
I like it. I like it. I love
Here
these.
we have some trunks that my family has used and some of my grandfather's jackets.
How nice.
And now we come to the next room, which is adjoining to the adults' room or the elders' room, which is the kids' room. And why would these two be next to each other? Is because what happens is if the older ones are in one room, might as well put the younger ones in the other room. So they can take care of them and they can entertain them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So here you have some of the toys and the walkers that they had. If you look behind here, you have this massive looking pram.
Pot.
Yeah, and you say, okay, Adriel, why is it so massive? Like I told you, there were big families, and at that time, lights would go off at 7, so the party would start at 8. So the families were big, and they kept becoming bigger, and that's.
This could have multiple babies.
So in 1 year, you had multiple babies. So the space for multiple babies meant bigger cots. That's just my joke. I don't know
I
if my
think they
family
live
would
much
like it or
smarter
not.
than all of us right now.
So we head out now from the room. that we have a original Murphy radio by the family.
We love.
We've tried to restore it once, twice, but it's getting a little difficult now because parts are not that easily available.
Oh, look at this.
Hand fans. These are the hand fans.
They are not Chinese, are they? They're Portuguese. Or they're mixed?
Mixed, because it also came from Macau. So you have sections from there also that kind of have an influence on it. Now, one more thing that you'll have seen all over Goa, but most people don't understand the logic behind or why it happens, is these glass windows or these shell windows. Right? So what are these shells? These are oyster shells basically. And what this does is two things. One, since oyster shells come from the ocean.
Locally sourced.
Yes, and they're locally sourced. They contain a lot of water, the shell itself.
I see.
So when it was put here, it reduced the amount of heat getting pressed onto the window.
I did not know that.
Secondly, the oyster shells are opaque. So if the sun was too strong, all you had to do was shut the window, you still had light coming in, but softer.
It's like those days DGU.
Basically, like a good
Like a
diffuser.
DGU for those days.
Once you stop here, I'd like to show you that wall. So what this wall is, and you're going to say, why is there a wall with holes in it?
Yes.
So what used to happen is, at that time, we had a set of dacoits, robbers,
Okay.
thieves, that were different compared to the ones you had all over the world. So these guys had a system. They would come on Tuesday evening and tell you, listen, we want to rob your house. You have two choices. One, you keep what you have outside and we don't damage the house. Or two, we come in and storm your house. Now most families would not go in for the option of keeping everything outside, right? So what they would do is they would barricade the house to cause this corridor here. The family would go up and use these gun holes to create a Death Valley passage for them.
What are you saying?
Yes.
So this is a robber-ready house.
This is a robber-ready
We're in a
house.
robber-ready house. Imagine robbers.
So basically the men would go up with the guns. There would be one who would call the shots from the big hole. Then the ladies, if I just push this at the moment, this is a little rickety because it's not maintained. You can see there are small
Little stairs.
Yeah, so the ladies would hide in the walls and this door would be shut. At the back is iron and the front is teak.
I am just loving this house altogether. This is too cool for school, yeah. Too cool.
Now here you can see the oysters and
Yeah,
the effect
yeah.
it causes. If I put the light off, you'll notice it looks bland, but then as soon as the light comes on, you see how it disperses the light properly. This is
I'm a spiritual person.
it's a very spiritual section of the house.
Please have a look at the spirits.
So this is a various, over the years actually. And for Goans who have been brought up in Goa in a time where I will directly just show you. This is crewnet. This is one of the oldest sodas that was in Goa at that time.
Nice.
A lot of people who probably watch this video who are Goans, who will hear of crewnet, will get all antsy and excited about it.
How cool is that? Wait, let me do this.
Yes.
So, crewnet means Shweta stockies. Cut.
So this is the icon chapel. So we used to have the family priest, like I told you. That's a tabernacle.
That's a tabernacle,
yes.
yeah.
So what happened is he used to come in here and meditate, and he had this collection. So when he passed away, we kind of just hung it up.
And this is all on wood?
All on wood.
Hand painted?
Hand painted.
But you've given it a varnish.
So we varnish it once every 2 years, or in case we see any sort of deterioration or some sort of problems with it, because natural causes are predominant. You have silverfish that kind of bite through the wood. So whenever we see an issue, we come and we treat it, or we send it to someone who does it very well.
So this must be about 200 because this is 60.
Yes.
Approximately 60 to 70 over here.
Yeah. And
Approximately 20 over here. So yeah, this must be almost 200. He had a collection.
Yeah, it's about 230 crores, but we've been getting and receiving more now, so we've been still collecting them. It is recorded in a few record books also.
I like how this one is the oldest one and one can make out
Through
the
the
pigment.
finish, yeah.
Pigment is
wearing off slightly.
No, it's a duller, it wasn't so saturated like little older ones, and even the way they've painted it versus a lot newer ones which you see here. And that would be your...
That would be primarily the biggest piece we have. So it stands also more predominantly in the
Look at the
center.
styles, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Just gorgeous. Oof. I think I'm in love.
So this is the exterior section of the house. Again, water was not governmentally available. So what they would do is dig a massive well and basically pull the water out of the well. Now if you look at the side of my well, it has few steps on it. And that was because this became the center house during San Juan. San Juan is the celebration.
The festival.
Yep. And what would happen is the boys would jump into the well. So they
And then
needed
they
an
have to come out.
escape. So the steps were there primarily to cause an escape or give the option of an escape.
Oh, well, hello.
Yeah. Now we come to the tools room. So this is how they would stock up their tools. We have reduced the amount that we're showcasing now. But one I would like to draw your attention to is this. So it looks a little bit like a whacking tool.
Yeah.
But what it is basically you've heard of feni.
Yeah.
So feni is not made only by cashew. You can also get feni from coconut.
Oh.
So what these guys used to do is we had toddy tappers. Okay. And before climbing the tree, they would read the tree. What this means is they would use this tool which has 4 shapes on it.
Okay.
Okay. And a combination of these shapes would tell them how many coconuts are going to be ripe the next time.
What?
So if they went up on Sunday and they knew like about 6 would be ready, they would come down and mark it with this combination. And then the next time when they came in, they knew according to this combination how many were ready.
Mildly speechless. Oh my God, this is for the fields for sure, right?
Yeah.
It's a hull actually. वो
That, yeah.
cow के पीछे?
Yes. So it's your plowing tool, and the top section would be used to hold and divert the groove of the field, and the other one would be tied. This side would be tied to the cows.
And this has a coconut. Is that a coconut? What is this?
So
It's a massive.
These are your spoons for cooking kanji and rice.
Oh my God! How
So-
big are the cauldrons?
These sized.
So
ones.
these were the holy.
Yes. Even if you look at that one, it looks a little muddy, but it's not muddy. It's actually coated with cow dung. So what that would do is allow insulation, one, and secondly, flies couldn't get through, because these are bamboo baskets, right? So there are grooves and spaces in between, which the cow dung would basically act like a plaster over.
Quite a high-tech house, I must say. It's barely 300 years old, I think, fully. So it was mean of them to have a smaller ladies' washroom because the boys' washroom is much bigger. I am going to find out why. And yes, it's much bigger. Wow.
It is.
The porta potties.
These are the direct potties. So
Achha.
these are the pig toilets. Again, a custom that has come in from the European ideology, where you kind of go in.
France had it.
Yes.
Direct down
yes,
to
direct down to the pigs, and then they kind of get the.
Actually, the
requirement.
Palace of Versailles also had it.
Yes, and now you're going to say why was it so big and why there are 3?
Yeah.
Right? Is because men that finish the job together think of the job together.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely
And then you're
done.
going to say, oh, Adriel, these holes are huge. What about a child? We had a child option
We had a
also.
child option also.
Yes. And then this was the bath. Again, heated water from the sides or outside. There you got the hot water inside. You had a bath, and then it all went out washing the other side.
Freaking fabulous.
So it was not, the size was not because they were given importance. The size was because the amount of guys that came in together.
They just chill together.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Very high-tech, 300-year-old house, I must say. But where are the heart of the house? Where are the kitchen? Where's Adriel?
Ah,
Well, hello,
it's me.
there we find him, there we find him. Now, start somewhere for me.
So to start somewhere, I think I'll start straight in the heart of the kitchen, the fire.
Yes.
So this is your basic chula. I think everyone has seen this before in their life. But ours was a little different because what happened is you would get this L shape, which allowed you to put a small oven
Oh.
here, which kind of gave you the option to put heat this way. Now,
Or you can shut them
and then you can shut them.
to direct the heat there.
Direct the heat that side.
I watch a lot of history stuff, by the way. I know a little bit, but I'm just putting it.
So this was a system that was restructured for that reason. On top, hanging was not primarily for show or to hang things like this. Now we've done it for the display reasons. But what these would be used for is primarily to hang onions, sausage, and garlic.
I see.
So it could smoke.
Dry
Yeah,
and
dry
smoke.
and smoke from here. Drying primarily was put in the corner where you can see the herbs over there on top. And that was mostly meant for your sweet dishes.
I see.
Yeah.
The pastry station.
The pastry section.
I must say.
These are the storage boxes.
I like that.
So the ideology for storage boxes at that time, which is quite funny, and it is the same thing my grandmother before she passed away used to tell me, is you can store whatever you want here because they are hung from the top and ants don't walk downward.
They walk upwards.
They only walk upwards. But now ants have grown out of that ideology and now they just walk wherever they want.
They've just like become AI mode now.
Yeah.
They can go anywhere. The ants have become AI mode. Oh, we have an old
And a kerosene fridge.
Electrolux kerosene fridge.
So these fridges are the type that are the make it or break it type of fridges because they're kerosene and they require a small spark to kind of start the ignition to cool things. So if you didn't start the spark properly, you and your family were done. If you started the sparks properly, you were having ice cream.
We like this place. I can see Floyd. Damn, I've never seen Floyd so engrossed in my life.
Now
Ever. He was doing it's a big one. Floyd does not get impressed, period, with anything or anyone.
And now that hole in the ground. So the thing is, this is a tunnel. And you remember the wall I showed you, the shooting wall?
Yes.
If that didn't go through, the family would run out from the attic, run here,
Place to escape from.
and then run straight to the church. Now, why we have shut it is primarily because it has caved in. And there is a high level of fear that if someone does go in, the vibrations will cause more of a cave in. So when we have a team that can kind of dig through the tunnel back again and restore it, we'll probably get to that.
I want to crawl through the tunnel.
Definitely. When I
Please
have
let
it
me know
ready.
when you're done.
Yes.
I think this can get in 2 to 3 people ek saath together.
Yes. So it was
Right?
big
It's
enough.
big.
It's big like this and then it widens a little bit more down, but it's slightly crawling. So you cannot walk. You have to.
And where's
bend a
the
little.
church?
Church is on that side of the road.
So everything is niche se.
It's all underground. Now again, because of multiple roads being built and all of that, it caved in.
Damn.
Now, I made a mention to you about my family being converts.
Yeah.
Right? So, it was not a convert that the other side didn't like us. The side that remained Hindu, they used to stay here also.
How beautiful.
And a Pandit that used to live with us for a long time stayed here. And he started this collection of Ganesh, which has now reached over 4,000, which he passed on to my father. And we have huge sized Ganeshes, and we have one that's on a rice grain here.
Rice grain.
Yes.
So this house had, the room right next door had almost 250 Christian deities, a collection of the priest of the family. They have preserved that. Literally one room later, we have God knows how many Ganeshas, which was a collection of your Hindu
Ancestries. Yes. So basically, the family lived very communally. And to this day, we do celebrate the Ganesh Puja. We don't celebrate in our house. We go to our ancestral house, which is in Panjim. And we are given one seat to sit during the puja if there is a representative that is willing to go.
So what a strong understanding was that. How amazing is that?
Yeah, basically there was conversion because of requirement,
Yes.
but the family ties never died. That remains
Beautiful.
strong, and the culture just changed because of the religion, but the heart remained the same.
Just to that, just to that. We love it. Just love it. So apparently you have a surprise for me.
So this is the dining space.
Okay.
And like I mentioned, there's a big family. So this table seats 24. And that is how many people would sit for one meal together at a time sometimes, unless people were in and out of the house. But now the question comes as to you finish eating and where do you wash? You can't go all the way to the toilet, it's all the way there. So what they did is create a system where you have a wash basin when you need it.
And this for washing.
That's the water containing, and then you wash
With
your
a
hands.
view.
Yep. And then when you were done, you shut it, and you can have a seat.
And we had a seat over the
I'll get a
hand
coffee
basin.
also. So a little bit of rain, a little bit of coffee, and a lovely seat. Nobody knows it's a hand basin now.
Absolutely not. This is just amazing how they thought of it, right?
Because you didn't want to avoid the conversation that was taking place.
You didn't want to break it.
Yeah. So you come in, wash your hands, get back to the table.
You could put the porta potties here and finish that also, right?
I think that was the primary purpose also of the porta potties. I can suggest it for the next family lunch or dinner. Say we'll keep the potty also here, guys.
Get it over and done with.
This is a custom piano coming from Russia.
So 2 homes we saw, both of them were made by the Bombay company.
The
2 pianos.
Pianos.
Yours is the first one from Russia.
Yes.
It looks very royal.
So it was brought in and serenaded the family while they ate food. To my bad luck, I was not born at the time that the serenader was alive.
Can you imagine we turn on Spotify? I mean, whatever those speakers could manage for us. Where are we now?
So now we're in the dance hall. Dance hall or the family lounge, we can call it. So this floor, unlike all the other floors in the house, you'll notice is of wood. So this primarily gave the option of moving or dancing. It was a little easier on the feet.
Yeah,
Also,
it's softer.
it's a lot softer than the rest of the house because it also gives the option to move and sway while you do your
It
dancing.
does. I
We
love
have
the
some
sound.
of our record players still stocked up.
Well, this is obviously older, the
This is
gramophone.
older, and then you have the record player behind it, which is much newer. That belonged to my uncle.
Nice.
Yes. And I'd like to show you my family tree
I would love to see your family tree.
because it's the base crux of what the family is. So this is the family tree. Basically, you have the rough understanding of how many generations this house has gone through. But what I want to draw your focus to is this cupboard here, or this cabinet here. Why this cabinet in particular is because when we found this cabinet, it was in the storage and it was dusty and it was all grimy and all of that. But the aspect of this cabinet is what really stands out, right? So as it is shut, it's shut like this. So it doesn't look like much. It looks very basic, very simple. You have your prongs to open and rest the main set on. And then you have drawers, right? So you have 4 drawers here.
Oh, they're hidden drawers.
Yes, they're all hidden drawers. So, I mean, these are very obvious looking, right? So when you say, okay, Adriel, this seems very normal, then you have more here on the sides. Can
There
you
were
pull
drawers
that?
in there?
Yes, long drawers,
Oh,
right? And then you say, okay, that also seems very normal. And then you pull the last one out. We're not done because you can pull yet the plate out. And we're still not done because you can pull an inner cavity out also.
oh, this one.
Yeah, this is the cavity. So you have another space. And then what really fascinated me about this cupboard at that time was we pushed this open, which had this here, and I thought that was it. But when he shook it a bit, we realized that it was down more, and we found letters that my grandfather had written to my grandmother that was still preserved
Hidden
inside.
there. I love it. Let me try to put this back.
Yes.
So we're trying to put this back. 1, 2.
Yep. 3. A family with a lot of secrets, non-dark.
No shit.
But yes, these secret cabinets are all over the house. There are a lot more. I've shown you just 1 or 2. But
I do want family secrets, but not for YouTube. No.
yes.
So we've seen this home, this beautiful home. I just met the senior also, but unfortunately he had to go. But it's so impressive that a young man like him is completely passionate about preserving his history and culture. So I would want to ask him, what are the few things we don't know about Goa?
One very uncommon aspect of Goa is people know about feni and people know about the cashew apple, but you also have feni that comes from coconut. Secondly, feni is not drunk for drinking reasons, it's actually drunk for medical reasons. At least locally, it's drunk for medical reasons. So when you have a fever or cold, sometimes we tend to put a little bit of feni on a cotton ball, put it on our belly button. Next morning you wake up fine. There are various aspects of feni that is not alcohol based, which is not very well known. Secondly, the mango fruit, right? How people eat it ripe.
Just eating, yeah.
Yeah, you eat it ripe. We don't always eat it only ripe. We pickle it, we eat it raw, we shrink it down to half its size, and we have various types of mangoes which have various ways to eat them. Then one more very fun aspect of Goan ideology is before feni, I'll come back to feni because before feni comes urrak. Which is urrak, which is another alcohol only, but it comes at a very lower level of alcohol percentage, and it can only be drunk in breezy areas.
Why?
Because that's the only way you can get drunk from urrak.
Oh wow, how cool is that? Okay.
Other than this, I think the ideologies and things that you know about Goa have been taken and just adulterated to a point where now they're just being confused. So if you want to know more about Goa or learn about certain aspects of Goa, you should come here and experience it more locally.
I'm trying.
Because there are a few things that people, like Goans itself, don't know, but an older generation, they do. Like, have you had kafrial?
No.
The chicken kafrial?
Yeah, I mean, I've tasted it, a kind of it.
So, the name kafrial also comes actually from a slur. So, the Americans have the N word, right?
Right.
The Goans have a slur for dark-skinned people, which is known as kapri, right? And the word for kafrial basically comes from this word kapri, which is basically the chicken made by the African slaves.
Amazing.
So the Goans just Goanified it, or whatever you want to call it, and now it is the Goan kafrial chicken dish.
For more such information, dial 1-800 Adriel Alvarez.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Always on call.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
was
you,
so
Shweta.
wonderful.
It was lovely having you.
Wave at the camera.
See you. Come a little forward and wait.
You're going to have to come and visit this house.
Please do. If you all do, you can send me a message on Instagram. I'll come in and I'll help you all get a little more acquainted with the place. Or if you all want to know certain things about Goa, I can also help with that.
I'm putting link in bio and in the YouTube description. See you at Shweta's Talkies.
Let's do it.
For content beyond politics, for content beyond Bollywood, for content beyond beauty, I'm sure there are a lot of us who like content which is historic, which delves into interesting stories, and also makes average people stars. You're welcome in Shweta's Talkies. Please subscribe, love, and share, and please comment. See you.